we kind of jumped right into this, but the posing question we came up with, Mason, was
Oh
is
yeah.
making
The
is
take
making yeah
is it even worth it to put it out there anymore?
is it worth it to make content, to be a content creator in this space? Like I, I never would have been at the level that I've been with with Pokemon cards without making content 100%. Like I want to have gotten the collections in and have the network and the trust to sell the stuff that I've sold. Um, but it's like I mean, it was at the point, like you just said, everybody has these insanely valuable collections, and also the market is so much bigger now and more accepted. Like again with Ken Golden, that like you don't need a face anymore. You just need the product. If you have the product and put it out there in an anonymous way, you don't really need to be showing all this stuff off. So in today's world, I don't think being a content creator in this fashion of showing off your product and all that stuff, maybe if you're doing pack openings or like the Alex Hodges style, Deep Pocket Monster, should I open it? Should I keep it sealed? Whatever. But as a store, as a reseller, I don't think in today's economy, in today's market, it's worth it because there's too much risk.
So Mason, you make content more than either of us now, right? Like we all do the pod, but you still actively make it on your channel. I stopped for two reasons. One was I had other things going on in life, but two was the liability of people, right? Like people are always commenting on your stuff. A lot of times it's negative, not positive. A lot of people know about all your business. A lot of people have opinions on you that don't even know you, things like that. That like to me that weighed on me a lot, right? To where like I started to feel like the net payoff of that was not worth like it affected me negatively. And one of those was those types of things. I'm not going to name the creators involved in this because I don't want to drum any of this back up. But like there were things that happened when I was creating content, not involving me, about other creators with like their home addresses getting put on the internet and them getting doxxed and things like that, and people making videos about them, and like and that stuff used to weigh on me of like, what if that happens to me, right? And so like when it got to the point of like, oh man, you're gonna have a kid, like that was like out the window. Like this was a very big exception, and this was like because essentially we all hung out anyways, like let's just film it and make a thing out of it, and like whatever happens happens. But like, and that was because like can't live life in fear, but that got me to shy away from it. So I want to throw it to you because you still make content. You have a store. Your store has been robbed before multiple times, unfortunately, and like that's just the byproduct of having a store. So you've experienced this type of thing. Have you ever thought about just shutting it off, like closing all the holes of liability as much as you can?
Yeah, I mean, and obviously, I've my store is probably more secure, guaranteed, than most of the game stores that are out there. I guarantee that. Um, just because of all the time and money I've put in uh, to make that and stop these things from happening. Um, and yeah, I think about it like when I get a pallet of product dropped, do I even want to put that on social media? That hey, I just got a big pallet of product from a distributor. Do I want to put that out there? You know, uh, I definitely second guess it and think about it now for sure. When I buy giant collections, do I want to put that on the socials? Hey, look what I just got in, guys. Look at all this cool stuff. Uh, I can't put like a $10,000 card in my case. Why would I do that? It's not worth the liability. Why? It's not worth it. I gain so little from that risk of that thing being in my case. It's just not worth it. So yeah, obviously even before this, I mean, perpetually, every day, it's a thought of like, ooh, how can I shore this up? How can I protect this? Is that worth having in my case, or is it going to stay locked away? You know, uh, it's something that I always think about, and now even more so, obviously.
Yeah, because it's. Do you think this could damage the hobby? Like, and I want to frame it for you guys in the sense of like, one of the cool things is you buy an expensive card, you put it at home, you put it on display or whatever, so you get to look at it every day. This is the kind of stuff that makes you not want to do that. Makes you want to put it in a safety deposit box. Makes you want to send it off to PSA Vault or something like that. But then at that point, you're not even holding it anymore. You're not even appreciating it. Now it's just an asset held off somewhere. It's no different than looking at a picture on the internet, right? At which point then that's when people kind of like start to get emotionally detached from stuff. And it's like, I'll just sell it. I don't
Yeah.
need the money anymore, or I need the money more than I need like this
Right.
thing that I don't even have in my possession.
Yeah, I don't even get to enjoy
Does
it.
that start to harm the hobby if
That's been the conversation forever with us, I think. But now with how serious collectibles is as a alternative asset, maybe not so much. I mean, for me personally, yeah. If I didn't look at stuff every day, like I'd stop caring about it and probably sell it. But maybe I have a different outlook in my brain now that like this is a real asset that people are looking at as a store of value, and maybe I view it differently now.
Yeah. It really sucks the joy out of it, because I love people posting, "Hey, look at all the cool stuff I got, or cool collection. Look at my Pokemon shelf with all these cool things on it." It's stuff that's fun.
Mhm. Yeah.
Not even once do I think about, "Oh, well, that's easy picking. Thanks for showing me exactly what and where it's at." Like, it doesn't even cross my mind, and it's just like, uh,
Sucks that it
the
crosses other people's minds.
yeah, it's just the impurity of it. It really it takes the fun and the innocence out of it now.
Yeah, I mean, without going into like obviously crazy detail, like what are some things that you guys do? I mean, I think the first thing, especially at a certain level for everybody, is insurance. Like you can get collectible specific insurance. Um, Make very detailed notes of what you bought them for, where they are in the
pictures,
house,
receipts,
pictures, receipts,
etc. Like
every
that's what your insurance company is going to require. The higher the value, they're going to want photos of it. They're going to want receipts of when you purchased it, probably some kind of information on where it's stored at,
how
that
it's
type of
stored,
thing.
where it's stored, what kind of
Yeah.
systems you have in place.
Make sure your insurance covers what you're trying to insure. Like sometimes, insurance doesn't cover things like acts of God, right? Which is like, fire, tornado, earthquake, stuff like that. But a lot of times those are the things you actually want insurance for. And so you usually have to pay some kind of a premium for certain types of those things. If you're going to store stuff in your car because you're going to go to like trade shows and stuff like that, you need to make sure your insurance policy covers your car, not just your house or your storage unit or your store or wherever. Like if you've got stuff stored in multiple areas. Another big one, packages in transit, right? A lot of people's collectible insurance will cover shipments up to a certain dollar amount if you have that as part of your insurance, if you ask for that to be a part of your policy. Sometimes,
That's one of my most important ones. And I don't even do that much business anymore, but it is one of the most mentally freeing, relaxing portions of this because I will deal mostly in higher end packages, I guess, or items still. So like having that that insurance in place for shipping is so
well, we've
big.
all heard of like, oh, I sent my shipment off to grading and it's lost in the mail. Hope it gets there. Like things like that, that like if your insurance doesn't cover that, that could just be a major loss, and but outside of like insurance, there's a lot of things that people can do
Well, I do
in
want
their
to talk about
homes.
insurance if just for one quick second.
Oh, go for it. Yeah,
For as a business standpoint.
sure.
It was a thing for businesses that is like, what is a single piece of cardboard have in value? People didn't understand, a lot of the old-timey insurance guys, they didn't understand. I will say if you own a business or if you even for your house too, if the agent that you go through or the company that you go through, if they're like, I don't know, is that even valuable? Like, is that even something that you want to cover? If they ask questions like that, immediately be like, is there somebody I can talk to that would have some knowledge, or what kind of collectibles packages? Who do I need to talk to get that added to my insurance? Because when I was doing it the first time around with our first insurance company, it's inventory. It doesn't matter that type of stuff. It wasn't until very very recently where it's like, yeah, I'm going to start doing more shows. I need that to be covered. I need my actual stores to be seen as like, yes, these are actual expensive items. These are not just like something that is easily replaceable. It's not. These are like collectible items that need to be covered, and um, it's out there. Every insurance company offers it, I'm sure. You just got to talk to the right person that's going to understand and help you walk you through that kind of thing, and just understand the actual value of these things, because they're still to some extent not taken seriously as like, yes, this is something that is important to me and has true value. uh so definitely go through the effort, go through the channels of contacting the right person with your insurance to get that stuff added.
Yeah, and if you're not going to do like collectible insurance because maybe you already have a homeowner's insurance policy or something like that, and it covers up to X amount of personal, and that covers it, that's great. Just check with your insurance agent or insurance company, because a lot of times they may make you get a rider that separately specifies what those items are if they're expensive, and they may want you to get an appraisal. And a lot of times these auction houses, there are a few individuals in the community that are authorized to do appraisals that can do official appraisals for you, either based on historical solds or other things that are similar. If you've got a more like niche, like one of one type item or something, that can kind of help you get those authorized through an insurance company. But it really is important. But in addition to insurance, there's a lot of like, target hardening things. So to give you guys context, one of my majors in college was criminal justice. I think Mason was the same. Target hardening is one of your big topics that you talk about, and that's how do you reinforce an area so that you make it harder for people to commit crime. I think a lot of people know about security systems and things like that, but there's a difference between I'm going to go to my Best Buy and buy an Arlo system and hook it up in my house myself that any like common Joe hacker could probably defeat, versus I'm going to call Brink Security and have them come out and install a security system in my home. Very different things. You'd be shocked at how cheap that actually is. But in addition, there's a lot of additional things you can do at home. There's a lot of things that you can do away. I would implore everyone to research those. I'm hesitant to like give a lot of suggestions, because then I'm just giving people a checklist of like, oh, okay, so Squeaks does this, Squeaks has that.
Well, like you need alarms, you need cameras, there's all look up. It's easy to look up and see what type of different types of alarm systems there are, and you go talk to your local police. Like, tell them, hey,
actually, yes, they will actually come out to your property and be like, yes, this is something to think about. This is something to think about, because they see that stuff all the time. They are extremely skilled, and they will. I think most police departments, you can schedule it, and then there may be a fee of some kind, but I'm sure most of them will do it for free.
And they'll want to know too that you have an alarm that's going to call them. Well, some like some you have to register with your city. So
and something that I want to tell people is, and this isn't necessarily going to stop somebody from stealing. If somebody shows up to your house with a gun and they're just going to take stuff, they're going to do it whether you're there or not. But one thing that can deter people is, professional thieves will case a joint. They'll track when you're home, when you're not home, things like that, your social media, stuff like that. And one of the big things is just you not being there, right? We kind of speculated Dean was away at an event. They probably waited until he was gone, went and did that. If you've got a lot of money in your home, pay somebody to house it. Pay somebody to be at your house and be there while you're gone. It's not that expensive to pay someone to house it. Somebody that's trusted, family member, really best friend, something like that. Professional security guard, whatever. Pay somebody to watch your home while you're gone. Cheap level of insurance versus just leaving it there and hoping that your security stuff does what it's going to do. I again recommend having the security stuff, but even my wife and I don't leave town much because we're homebodies. But when we do, we make sure that there's somebody in our home, staying in our home always. And I would highly implore, because it'll give you a peace of mind too. The last thing you want is to go on a trip or go to an event or do something fun, and the whole time you're just thinking about like, man, I hope my stuff's there when I get home.
Right.
And
you want to keep worrying about it every time you leave your house, or do you want to pay the $500 and get it taken care of?
Yeah. So it's really unfortunate. I'm sorry to Dean that it happened. Sorry to Trainer Court, I believe that's their new name, that happened to them, and anyone else that it's happened to. It's really unfortunate. We heard it back in COVID. It happened to a few people as well. It won't be the last time, surely, that we hear about it. But everyone, do your due diligence. Be mindful. If you want to post about going to an event, post about it when you get home if you can. I understand some people's business, it's like imperative that they're doing social media and stuff while they're gone. But I promise you, people like your pictures and stuff just as much when you're home as when you're away.
And if you have good product, they're going to buy from you. You don't need to tell them you're coming. So
yeah. So
but yeah, let's end this off on a positive note. Sure. I want to get back to more exciting discussions to make sure I go to bed soundly tonight.
John calls me at 2 a.m. I think I might be getting robbed. Yeah.
Every
That's
noise.
John.